Hello and welcome. You are on my podcast, Fire Chat with Mirella. This is Mirella Kaell, your location gal. And today, this is part two of the good and the bad in the Bay Area. So, I want to tackle some of the things, my top five of each category. Of course, cost of housing is very challenging with last month's, median price for a single family home at 1.4 million in Santa Clara County. There are also ways to tackle that issue, and we have different things available depending on the situation. So, if you have any questions, or if you're looking for a home, or to move or relocate to the Bay Area or from the Bay Area, you can email me at relocationgal@gmail.com. Okay, sit back and relax and listen and or watch and enjoy. Hello, hello, hello. This is Mirella Kaell, your location gal, and you're on my podcast, Fire Chat with Mirella. So today, I want to talk about some pros and cons of moving and living in Bay Area, the San Francisco Bay Area. I've been here since 1982. So most of my adult life, I've lived here. I came from Europe. My father was here, and I was a teenager. So I've been here ever since. And so I lived in San Francisco, in Sunnyvale, and Pleasanton. So what I want to do is give you some reasons why it's so great to live here, but also why it may not be such a great place. So there are some things that I really love about it, and there are some things that we all are challenged by here. So here are some pros and cons of living in the Bay Area, the San Francisco Bay Area. So let's start with the cons. Well, before I get into that, I want to say, some of the great things about it are sunshine most of the days here. However, right now we're experiencing a lot of haze and smoke because of the wildfires that are burning and the wildfire season. So most of the time, though, we do have this beautiful sunshine and beautiful blue skies, gorgeous palm trees and views, and just, a nice place most of the time. However, it's not always like this, right? So there are some real challenges also. So if you're moving to, or you're thinking of moving to the Bay Area, or you're getting a transfer and you're relocating, I want to give you some tips and insider information before you land here. Okay. Alrighty. So my top cons here on this list, I'm going to start with that. The first one is what I call the unpredictables, right? So we have quite a few here. We have the fire danger, we have fires, wildfires that are burning right now, also earthquakes. Those are two major ones that we have to deal with quite a bit, right? So what can you do if you live in the Bay Area? Is there anything that you can do to make things easier when things like this occur? So of course, being prepared is great. I'm gonna preach this, but I'm not the best at it myself. However, it's always a good idea to have a plan, to know where to meet in case of any emergency, have some supplies ready, and also sign up for alerts. Everywhere in the country now, and in California, we have a system where you can sign up for alerts, and it's free, and you will get information straight to your phone about anything that's going on in a specific area of your home, or work, or both, wherever you need to know what's going on. So I will include some links in the description, so you're able to easily sign up if that's something you would like to do. Another thing is also, you want to definitely research. Insurance companies also have good information, and we provide information also if you're researching properties. Any particular property that you want to purchase will have disclosures, and part of the disclosures will be the natural hazard disclosure, which will show the fire hazard on a possible in the actual area where the home is located. So there are some things that you can definitely do, but a lot of it is the unpredictable stuff that can be a little jittery for people. So there it is. Number 2 I have on my list is poor air quality and drought conditions, which is also sort of an unpredictable. It falls, kind of under both of these categories, right? But the poor air quality kind of goes with that because we don't have any rain to sort of stabilize the pollen and all the, things in the air, the allergens that cause a lot of allergies for people. Also, people suffering from asthma have more issues. So, how we deal with this is, we have something spare the air.
which probably is becoming more and more of a daily occurrence. So yes, so we do have designated days, right? And like during the fire season, there are more days designated. But also, it's good to be conscious of, let's say, using your car. If you don't need to, you can take a bike somewhere. For example, some people bike to work. And during the pandemic, of course, the emissions went down all over around the world because people weren't driving. So you could see the difference also in how clean everything was in the waters. And, there was a big reflection of humans not using as much fuel and oil, if you will, and getting around in the car. So also there are electric vehicles that are now more and more available. There are, you can always take a taxi or carpool with friends and colleagues and plan better, right? So you can avoid using the car when you don't need to. So there are those things that can be done also. Now, a big one here, number 3, is cost of living. And, that includes higher taxes, property taxes, and also state tax, right, in California, gas prices, food, utilities, all of these things are higher in California than in a lot of other places, and especially in the Bay Area. So how can you ease that? Well, there are a lot of things that, you can do with, just being conscientious about things that are, let's say, coming into play, like, for example, Prop 19, that is helping some homeowners with decisions to move because now the tax portability is across the state, which wasn't the case before. So for those who qualify for this, there can be savings in property taxes. Now, there are also some other things like, there are apps that can help with, for example, when you go grocery shopping. My favorite places are Rayleigh's and Safeway, and my husband likes Lucky. And so each one of them have a program or some kind of a system where they pass on some savings to the consumer. And so for Safeway, for example, I have what's called Just for You, which you can sign up for easily with a phone number and email. And when I'm in the store, I can see it on the labels of the products. And if it says Just for You, I just go to the app and I add that particular product. And when I go to the checkout stand, a specific discount gets applied to that particular item. And it's what I really love about it is that they've started, I think this has been going on for a long time, but they're adding things there that I normally shop for. So I don't have to, sift through it, so to speak. I can also go and add, before I even go shopping, I can add some things that are already on the list and they're going to be automatically included when I go to the checkout. And also, you can check for daily deals, and they have like, $5. They used to have $5 Fridays at Safeway, and now Rayleigh's has some coupons and things also that are included when you sign up. And when you get to the checkout stand, they're really nice about it. They can scan and see if there is anything that may apply. And I'm not very good about clipping coupons, so I'm not very good about keeping track of the paper ones, but because they're so nice at the checkout, they'll just do it fast and apply anything that may be applicable to the products that I am buying. So I really like that. And I think that helps definitely. Also with utilities, they do have different programs. So, it's always worthwhile to look into it. There is something also called Home Hour Connect, which I've signed up for, And that is something that you can do in order to save energy and sort of help convert more to using clean energy, because you basically don't use certain things like the dishwasher or major appliances during the peak hours, right? So they will tell you, for example, when the hour is, they will text you or email you, whichever you want to be contacted. And so they will tell you, hey, today, the hour is from 7 to 8, for example, right? So they call it the hour because you can turn off things and just maybe do some mindfulness meditation and read, for example, right? Turn off the appliances. But I'm not usually that, drastic. I mean, I just pay attention and I don't do, 3 loads of laundry at 7 p.m. when everybody else is running that, right? Or dishwashers, or, um, cooking stuff in the oven that takes hours and hours. I don't do that during those times. And it works. I mean, most of the time I hit the target. They give you the target, what you're supposed to hit, and then they'll give you the results. And they also have contests, and you can win things like a full year of utilities. I haven't been good about checking this if I'm winning it or not. So I need to look into it again soon. Another thing that is great is the Nest thermostat, which is great because you can have an app that goes with it, and you can actually control things, even remotely, right? So even when you're watching a TV show or something, and you're like, oh, it's a little cool, I would like to raise the temperature in this room, you just go to your app without getting up. I know that sounds lazy, but it's actually really convenient, right? And you just adjust it and it's adjusted. Okay, now that's kind of a frivolous way to do it. When, let's say, you leave the home and you're going to be gone for a couple of days and you forgot to adjust the thermostat or turn it off, guess what? You could be at the airport already, and you can go, oh, boom, I can just go econ, or I can turn it off, or whatever, right? You can also have smart plugs put out throughout the home, and then you can control lights, appliances, and other things. You can also unplug a bunch of things that you are not using all the time, because, believe it or not, that also takes electricity when you don't need it. So there are some green tips. And of course, there's low flow appliances, toilets. There are 5-star, appliances that you can use that will use less energy. So all of those things combined can help control these costs. And we are conscious of these things every day, just to make sure that we're doing the right thing, and also that it helps. So there is that. So I hope that gives you some ideas of what to do with this. Okay, and number 5 is this overpopulation, right? Although we do have some migration out of the state, and it's actually right now it's lower than people leaving, but it's still very high, and we have a lot of people who want to come here. So so basically, traffic. Number 5 is traffic. We were rated, I think, one of the highest traffic areas, right, in the United States, and probably the world lately. And believe me, when the pandemic started loosening up the restrictions, you could see the traffic coming back. And now, how do you deal with this? Well, you deal with it by, for example, controlling. If you have some control over when you can go somewhere, then avoid those peak times. And we all know sort of when the rush hour traffic is normally, right? There are some other slowdowns that happen, but in general, you can sort of plan for this. And if you do, then you can avoid some of that frustration. Some of it can't be avoided, obviously. if you have to commute daily, or during the week, 5 days a week, whatever it is, 6 days, then you can plan for different things. And for example, you can have a plan for different routes when you're going. Let's say even when you're coming home, you can have some shortcuts. I mean, I've gotten really good over the years at knowing all the shortcuts even before Waze came into play or Google Maps, and Waze is really good at that. But in the beginning of Waze, by the way, it put me out in the boonies one time. I had trouble getting back because, yes, it was less traffic, but it was a very crazy road. So this doesn't happen very often, but I used to, travel across the Bay Area quite a bit for outside sales in custom and coverings and things like that. So I was out and about on the road, or as an ad sales executive. So I had a lot of travel and miles that I put on. And so I learned some savvy ways of doing that. But now we have the apps to help us with all that stuff, right? Also, what you can do is, you plan for using that time for something productive or or pleasant. So listening to music, something like that. Audible is great for books. You can listen to books. Also, you can listen to podcasts. Podcasts are great. I do that too myself. Can make phone calls, maybe not too many, not to be too distracted. Maybe do those favorite ones that that are pleasant and you don't have to worry about stressing over them. And also, I avoid making phone calls where I would have to make notes and things like that, right? Because I'm driving. Let's see. And of course, rocking out to music, singing, right? Having some fun with it. So, as long as I know that it's going to be commute time, hey, you know what? It is what it is. And as long as it's a safe trip, that's all that matters. And so relax, enjoy, enjoy that ride. Get your favorite drink before you leave. Um, of course, it has to be a nice, refreshing beverage, non alcoholic. And so here we get to the pros of living in the Bay Area, which are so many. There are many, many, many pros. And the first one, number one, I would say, is natural beauty. Just take a look around. It's incredible. The hills, the vegetation, the beautiful trees, the palm trees, the birds that we have here. Just natural life is beautiful. The water bodies of water that we have, the ocean, the beaches. We are close to the mountains, and we're close to, when people want to go boating, you can go to Discovery Bay. They can go to the ocean. We have so many different things that are beautiful. And of course, the climate. The climate has been changing though, and we've had more unpredictables, like I noted, like I named them earlier. However, still most of the year we have beautiful weather, and it's just incredible, because it's, even if it's hot during the day, at nighttime it cools off. So even during the summer, if you have really hot days, we do get a break in at nighttime when temperatures go down, and that's really important. And also, we don't really have that many extreme low temperature days at all, so it's relatively mild in the 60s, sometimes a little bit in the 50s, but in the summertime, 80s, 90s, and 100 now in more and more areas, over 100 degrees also that happens. So, but like I said, for the most part, it's very mild and comfortable and beautiful. So there's that now. Let's see, what else do we have here? Now, number two is huge, and that is attractions. Okay, so whatever strikes your fancy is here. So we have, major sports teams, right, are stationed here. We have theaters, museums, art galleries. We have sports programs for kids. We have music programs for kids. Some amazing, amazing things that are available. We have, concert halls, right? Some famous venues, and big names come here and perform. So those things are all over the place. I mean, you have things to do, whatever you'd want to do. You have something that you can do, right? So, and it just depends on how you plan those things that you can enjoy uh, when you live here. So let's see what else. Well, of course, we have things like, for example, I'm going to show you something. I'm going to change the background here real quick and show you this. This is Santana Row. Santana Row is one of my top favorite attractions in Silicon Valley, hands down. It's in San Jose. And it's an amazing place because it's mixed zoning. So you have commercial and residential in one place. So the nice thing is that you can even have a condo upstairs, and you can, if let's say you could also travel and stay on Santana Row and just explore it, for a couple of days just to see how it is. The nice thing is, let's say it's, I believe, Wednesdays, they have farmers market. So if it's a Wednesday, you walk downstairs, you can get some fresh fruit. If you feel like a glass of wine, you just go steps away and there's a wine bar outdoors, and you can listen to some live music. Then you can have like a steak dinner across the street at a restaurant, or you can go for sushi or a vegan place, or like a French place that I love called Left Bank. There is Pizza Antica. There is, you know, uh, all kinds of food, right? That you can find here. And that is true throughout the Bay Area. And, as far as the multitude of number three, for me would be culinary options and different restaurants and foods. We have so much diversity that no matter where you're from in the world and you want to try some of your favorite foods, you can find a restaurant probably that is from your home country, or a place like a deli. For example, I like to go to European delis sometimes to pick up some foods that we enjoy. And there is one in San Ramon on San Ramon Valley Boulevard. There's one in that's called European Deli. There's one in San Jose called Kalinka, which is a European deli. You can pick up some things there. So definitely everything is here. Now, if you're on Santana Row, it's an incredible place because you have shops. You can buy designer clothes. You can buy, no matter what your budget is, you're going to find something here. From top designers to kind of mainstream, just shops like H&M, but you also have beautiful designer clothes and very unique things and novelties. And you have a bookstore if you want to just go to a bookstore. Now, this bookstore now is Amazon. So it's a little bit different than it used to be, but still you can get a book, right? Now, if, for example, if you go this way, now I'm sitting here as if I am in front of Hotel Valencia, which is right on Santana Row. So if you come to visit, you can stay there. And that will be the most convenient because right downstairs is Santana Row at your feet, literally. So now it's also famous for its decorations at, any time of the year. And the beautiful flowers and landscaping all around this property is gorgeous. But like I said, okay, going back to where I'm going this way. Wait a second. No, this way. If you go this way, if you come out of the hotel and you go right and you keep going, you're going to run into a bunch of restaurants and shops again. However, you also will uh, find a movie theater. If you want to see a movie, it's Cine Arts, I believe, and it's kind of a cooler venue, if you will. So they show um, more of like interesting films and some foreign films and some cool stuff they present there. So I highly recommend it. And yes, so there's plenty to do here. It's really fantastic. You can also grab an espresso and a croissant in the morning for breakfast, right over here. If you go this way, you turn left. When you get out of the hotel, you turn left and you go to Coca, which is my favorite bakery. And they have lots of beautiful pastries. And if you just want an espresso and croissant, they have that. They also have fresh squeezed juices and salads and sandwiches and anything you can imagine. It's my favorite place to stop for a cup of coffee on the way also. So, and it's just beautiful, I just love walking around there, and you can really feel the atmosphere. It's usually very uplifting. Because people are happy to be there. Most of the people are very happy to be there and walk around and enjoy all the things that it has to offer. Now, also, if you go this way, if you keep going this way, you're going to run into one of my favorite stores and beautiful store with all home furnishings called Crate and Barrel. And you can window shop, or you can order furniture, or you can look around and get some houseware, some beautiful glasses or beautiful, plates, or some other decorative or seasonal items. So they always have some very cool things there. There's more stores there. There's a Best Buy if you're into games or computers and you want some new accessories for your computer or a new laptop. You can go over there. Of course, there is also a Tesla showroom on Santana Row right there. There's a charging station, I believe, right behind. This could be now for residents who live there. However, I'm not sure, I'm not certain on that, but in any case, is there. You can also go to, again, if you keep going that way, you are gonna, if you cross the street, if you want to shop till you drop, there is Westfield Shopping Center there with big stores and Nordstrom and all kinds of different shops and things available inside that big shopping center. So so there's plenty to do here. And so this is definitely one of my favorite attractions here in Silicon Valley. But of course, we have beautiful sports stadiums. We have a beautiful Giants, Giants baseball. They have a gorgeous baseball park that looks over the water and the Bay Bridge. It's it's just beautiful out here. Also, we have a hockey venue that's famous, right? The San Jose Sharks. We have the 49ers football. So, lots of stuff. And even, if you're not a fan now, you may become a fan, or you may see your team play one of the Bay Area teams when you move here or when you visit. So so it just doesn't end. We have theaters, we have museums like the Young Museum in San Francisco, the Museum of Modern Art. We have so many different things here all the time. So you will never be bored, that's for sure, if you look into it. I already mentioned the food, which was kind of number 3 on my list, right? And now number 4 is beautiful places to live and that goes along with great schools. So I kind of have it put together, right? Because we have lots of areas where you have really, really top schools here. And one of the places is, for example, it's Pleasanton, and like places like Los Gatos, like Saratoga, and also, Orinda, Lafayette. Those places are beautiful and they have gorgeous homes as well. Along the homes, let's say, beautiful estates are in Montserino, Saratoga, Los Gatos, Pleasanton, Black Hawk, which is near Danville in the East Bay. In Danville, beautiful homes. Alamo, um, there's Sun Moon. There are so many different spots with just outstanding, property. Also, of course, San Francisco and Marin. We have the famous Marin County, which, the price goes up as you go up there. Also on the peninsula, we have Atherton, Menlo Park, Palo Alto, Redwood City, Foster City, which is by the water. Um, there are just so many beautiful things. As far as schooling and schools, we have top 10 schools, man, everywhere. And, sports programs for kids and music programs to engage them, and all kinds of competitions for marching bands. And we have, parades and, whatever you're into, if you love Ducati motorcycles and you want to be part of the club, you can do that. Or if you just want to hang out with your friends who like to mountain bike, you can meet them in front of a cafe, for example, in Pleasanton. Like I know that people meet up, like in the cafe area across from the farmers market. And there it's a great sense of community in a lot of places. Also in Almaden, in there are each area and each neighborhood they have something special, something going on. Now, of course, we've had some gentrification going on also in the last few years. So a lot of it, some of the originality may be lost. However, a lot of this is improvement, right? For transportation, for getting around and getting to your services, or shopping. It's become easier, and more convenient. It is at the expense of some of the originality. For example, in San Francisco, where a lot of things have changed and they're not kind of as unique as they used to be, right? So that's also true for smaller cities. But still, we have a lot of character everywhere. And of course, the architecture is beautiful. We have the views. We have just beautiful, beautiful things here. So let's see what I have. Number 5 is, of course, it's Silicon Valley. So we have major companies here who started here and continue to work here, and explore and innovate. And there's also new companies all the time on the block, right? The startups. So it's a very dynamic, very innovative place. And of course, the schools, you can't forget all the schools and award-winning, hospitals, research hospitals. We have Stanford here, we have UCSF. We have the schools. We have Berkeley, UC Berkeley. We have UCSF. We have San Francisco State. We have San Jose State University. We have so many wonderful places and of education, and also of medical research and facilities here that is amazing. And alongside of employers, of course, like companies like Facebook, Netflix, Google is building a huge campus that's going to be opening thousands of jobs and lots of housing, actually, within the next few years. It's gotten approved, so that's in the works. And so all of this is happening, and it's exciting about San Francisco Bay Area. Um, and I hope you get to come and visit at least and check it out and see if you like it. And let me know how it goes, or if you're curious about something specific. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed this little rundown of pros and cons of living in Silicon Valley. Alrighty then, stay informed, be well, and be kind. And I'll talk to you soon. Ciao.